Esparza, Davis,
Here.
Perales, Foley,
Here.
Crosco.
Present.
You have a quorum.
So thank you so much. This is, I do want to mention this is the ad hoc committee for the Housing, Construction, and Development Services, and I'm calling it to order. We do have a quorum, and we'll see if Councilmember Perales and Councilmember Esparza will join us this morning. It's been a while since we've met. I believe it's been since January, so it's nice to all be back yet again. Our first item on the agenda is item 1, Development Services Transformation, and Rosalind will be presenting. Thank you so much, Rosalind, for being here this morning.
Thank you, Chair, and good morning to the members of the committee and to members of the public. Rosalind Huey, Director for Planning, Building, and Code Enforcement. We are excited to be with you this morning. It's been quite some time. In fact, the last meeting of the committee was held back in January. And obviously, lots of things have happened since then. So we're glad to reconvene with you today. Just to bring us up to date on where we've been. And before I do that, I'll quickly go through the agenda. We have 3 standard items that we present at each meeting. First, we'll start with an update on our development services transformation work. Then we'll go into an update on our ADU program. And then we'll end the agenda with an update on our housing production. So next slide. So yes, the last time that we were with the committee back in January, we had just launched our new permitting system platform, Amanda. We upgraded from Amanda 6 to Amanda 7. And that was a very important milestone in our digital transformation work. It actually set us up to add more features, digital features for both our staff and for our customers. However, with our response to COVID-19, it required a different type of digital transformation that obviously was not planned. And I have had the opportunity during our response to COVID-19 to provide development services updates at City Council under the City Manager's Report 3.1 item. And I've previously shared some of these photos, and I just wanted to take the opportunity to provide them here to the committee, really just to acknowledge the great work by so many of our team members throughout development services work. So you'll see pictures here. These are taken probably starting back in late March, where we were working to get hard copies of plans into the hands of our staff so they could work on them remotely. We have, of course, immediately had to switch to Zoom calls. And the photo on the bottom right is actually a screenshot of a video inspection. So we know that we immediately shifted to providing video inspections for those inspections that would fit that particular way of doing an inspection remotely. So again, just a huge shout out to all of our team members. Obviously, we know that there is a lot more to do in our development services transformation work, and we're excited to continue that work. Next slide. So this meeting is a little bit different. Usually each meeting we are presenting an update on our OKRs for 1 quarter. For this particular meeting, because of the time lapse, we actually have 2 quarters worth of activity to share with you. So I'm going to start with our progress on our Q1 OKRs, or objectives that we have been sharing with you for each meeting. So at our last meeting in January, we proposed our Q1 OKRs. as the start of our 2020 transformation plan. It was headlined by an updated public portal, electronic plan review, and digital inspection forms. In early March, as the enormity of the COVID-19 emerged, we redirected our IT staff toward the completion of the digital inspection form to increase the safety of our building inspectors and to, of course, continue our very important inspection services. Our building division manager, Mark Garcia, will present on the other major benefits of this project later on in the presentation. I do want to note that one of the items that's highlighted in yellow, the CEQA instruction guide, we did not fully complete that within Q2 because we weren't able to actually conduct the environmental roundtable. The meeting was canceled at the end of March due to COVID-19. However, the guide was later shared with the roundtable members at a later date, but was actually after the end of the Q1. The fire department hiring OKR was not carried over into the next quarter because when we drafted these OKRs, there was a hiring freeze in the city. And we didn't have an exemption process in place in late March. However, the fire team has made significant progress on hiring. And my understanding is that they are currently at 1.5 vacancies for associate engineers compared to 4.5 vacancies the last time we presented. Even with the sudden shift in our priorities, work did continue on the other major priority projects, with most of our key results being completed or nearly completed by the end of March. So next slide. So these are our OKRs for Q2 of this year. We faced a critical moment when we first had to write these in late March. Our response to COVID-19 presented uncertainty for the Development Services Transformation team. And in late March, we had to consider our team's approach that varied widely, including suspending the work or foregoing some of our OKRs until further notice. Our executive team decided to continue the work, and we worked with our team members to complete our objectives with some modifications. We limited the scope of OKRs to focus on technology projects that were time sensitive. While we did face obstacles for some of our projects, we were able to get several important key results over the finish line, including deploying our new fire engineering workflow in our Amanda permitting system that had been stagnant with our vendor since before our contract modification. We also completed the site license agreement, or SLA, billing enhancements for the public works small cell deployments this last quarter. The revenue that the SLAs bring in feed the digital inclusion fund that the city is using to connect those in our community that are on the wrong side of the digital divide. This will bring in about $24 million over the course of the agreements. And by developing the improved billing functions, we will decrease our overhead on the revenue collection and increase the amount of money that can be shared with those most in need. We also made progress on our planning and public works electronic plan review, OKR, which our lead subject matter experts will be presenting on later in our presentation this morning. We didn't make as much progress on two of our priority projects, the new online permitting portal and the new building and fire electronic plan review. First, for SJ Permits 2.0, our team started their user acceptance testing, or UAT, on June 1st and found many issues in our vendor-built portal. Since the start of UAT in the Q1, staff have diligently tested and retested the portal as our vendor has facilitated the fix for nearly all of those issues that have been identified. This process has been time-consuming for our staff and our vendor, but the diligence is starting to pay off as we begin our plans for launching SJ Permits 2.0. We'll also discuss this more later in the presentation when we go over our OKRs for Q3. Second, our building and fire electronic plan review has fallen a bit behind in this quarter as we prioritized getting the planning and public works electronic plan review launched. Still, our early start with gathering the requirements has given our fire and building subject matter experts more time to learn the functionality of the software and prepare our requirements for its configuration. The team continues to make progress on finding the right design for our staff and fire, in fire and in the building division. Now I'm going to turn the presentation over to Mark Garcia, our building division manager, and he will present on our work on digital inspection forms. And then after Mark, we will have Ty Chow Lee, our planning supervisor, and Joe Dyke, associate engineer in the Public Works Department, will present on the new electronic plan review software that we're now branding as SJE Plans. So Mark, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Rosalind. Good morning, committee members and attendees. As Rosalind mentioned, my name is Mark Garcia. I'm a division manager with the inspection services for the building division. I'm going to speak to the digitization of our inspection notices, also referred to as tags and or slips. These tags represent an incremental work product and are provided to our permit applicants at the conclusion of our daily inspections. In regards to the overall status of the project, we were lucky to be at the testing stage when the recent pandemic took hold, as these digital inspection notices have allowed us to overcome a number of internal and applicant side operational challenges that have presented itself during this recent event. We were able to fast track that testing phase and have worked our way through the change management, and we're currently in production with about 98% of our daily inspection tags being done utilizing these electronic slips or notices. Getting to this point has required a substantial amount of dedication and effort from our IT team, as well as the inspection group. And this effort has not ended because, as is with any large IT development and implementation effort, we're still identifying challenges. Some of these challenges may not be specifically related to the project itself, but they need to be addressed nonetheless. So our team continues to be committed and dynamic in this effort to resolve any issues, and this effort is much appreciated. From an operational perspective, depending on the nature of our daily workload, we are seeing about 300 to 400 tags daily, and this represents a significant impact for operations. Some of these items are with the handwritten tags. Due to the number of environmental and other challenges, legibility has historically been a consistent problem. The tag in the digital format has been a game changer for us because it allows our inspectors to essentially use voice to text to fill out those comment fields. So legibility is no longer a problem. Another challenge with the paper format has been kind of the administrative burden associated with the production, the distribution, and the post-processing of these slips. We estimate between 400 and 500 staff hours annually are dedicated to the printing activities alone. We are no longer needing for staff to come in and physically pick up those tags. Under normal operations, inspectors would basically park in the parking garage, come over to City Hall, pick up their tags, work through their routing, and then go back out to the parking garage and continue on their day. In our new environment, our COVID-19 operations, things have changed quite a bit, but these digital tags have allowed us to kind of fill that gap and allow us to get those tags out without having to interact directly with staff. And also there's an associated annual cost of media and that supporting equipment, which we're estimating around $70,000. So now in this new environment, we currently assign and distribute the inspectors their daily workload electronically. We distribute those inspection tags in the morning electronically to their devices. So we send it through OneDrive directly to the inspectors. So each individual inspector gets their workload in their assigned tablet. The inspectors perform their inspections and they fill out that tag electronically within their iPad and they submit the notices to our system through our cloud-based system, and then it gets pushed to our ECMS. Once it gets to our electronic management system, it becomes available on the SJ permits portal, which is also that same portal that a number of our applicants are actually using to schedule that inspection. In terms of timeline for that notice to be available, IT is committed to a 2-hour turnaround in terms of once our inspectors completed that tag and getting it into the system and it being available to our applicants. The reality is it actually, at least historically, we've seen it shows up quite a bit sooner, sometimes measured in minutes. All right, thank you very much.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Tai Chao Lee, and I am the supervising planner on the environmental team within the planning division. I am one of the subject matter experts, or SMEs, that is currently working on the new electronic plan review portal that you have that you see the logo here on the slide called SJE Plans on the left corner here. As you've already heard from Rosalind earlier, development services, in particular, the Department of Public Works and Planning Division, are working on and will be launching a new electronic review system called SJE Plans next Monday, August 31st. This product will facilitate electronic plan submission and review for many of the large permits in planning and most of the permits in public works. This software is also called Project Docs or PDocs, so you will hear that terminology and SJE plans being used interchangeably. As you all know, a permit review process and a permit review altogether includes multiple different division and or departments, public works, transportation, building, fire, and etc. All of which makes up the development services team. Currently, each division and department within the development services team have slightly different methodology of receiving electronic plans, reviewing the plans, and even storing the documents for a single permit. So SJE plans consolidate all our development review procedure and process for a single project and permit into one platform. This includes being able to integrate with our existing project tracking system and our workflow, Amanda, in which Rosalind already mentioned that transformation team have successfully worked on and also update, and that was launched late of last year. The SJE plans is also to provide a more intuitive tool for marking up plans and receiving comments, but most importantly, provide our customer with a single platform to electronically submit materials, and receive communication to and from all departments within the development services team for a specific permit type or project. So on the slide here, highlights some operational changes once SJE plans is going to be implemented on August 31st. The first one is application submission. Because of the current pandemic, all our applications have been submitted via email or through an FTE site in which we route them electronically via email anyways. However, even after this, project applicants and customers will not have to spend money to print these large plan sets and drag them to City Hall and submit them there. So we are Silicon Valley, and we feel like this is a step closer to being that as well. So number 2 is the plan processing and triaging. Staff would be able to save time on tasks such as rerouting plan sets to different departments and ensuring that they actually get it on time. This system will send an email notification at certain milestone within the review process for all development services partner within a project to let them know when something has been submitted, resubmit it, and that they have a task that they can start. Note that we are already doing that via email, but this will be automatic. The third one is comment coordination. The comments collected from all the development services partner and reviewers will be on one platform, and the applicant and their full team is able to view it versus sending and forwarding the email from one person to another. Plan review and markup. Staff can compare previous plan versions to identify changes and markup easier now. For example, while our memos used to and will continue to read along the line of please see sheet 5, section 2, revise X, Y, and Z. Now we're able to provide direct markup on those plan set in that sheet 5 to complement and to supplement the direction from our memo. And we will also be able to compare them easier to be like, okay, they changed it, move on, next sheet. And the last part, overall project coordination. While currently we do have one main project manager that would consolidate all comments and have that back and forth with the customers, this product will give us a new platform for a customer to access those material outside of just an email. And the overall coordination functionality and advantage of this software is that it gives us more tools and options to improve our business practice as well. So that's here on the slide, and also on the right side, the phase 1, as mentioned, of SJE plans will launch on August 31st for public works and planning. And phase 2 will be the fire prevention permits and building permits. And that is expected to be completed and launched in 2021. So I will now turn it over to Joseph Dyke from the Department of Public Works to give you more details on what we have done and continue to be doing to prepare for this launch on the 31st.
Good morning, my name is Joe Dyke. I'm an associate engineer in the Public Works Development Services Division. In preparing to go live with SJE Plan software, there were 3 items we had to consider: staff training, applicant engagement, and go live activities. Before we could focus on the staff training and the applicant engagement, we had to focus on doing the user acceptance testing, or UAT, to ensure the software would be ready for use. The testing also needed to be complete in order to train staff on the use of the system. Through the UAT, we discovered 112 issues, with 107 currently resolved. Of the remaining issues, it was determined that these would not impact the ability to launch the software and could be addressed when the system was live. With that established, we were able to set the staff training and applicant engagement as close to the go live date as possible to ensure people didn't forget, what was being trained to them. To date, as shown on the slide, we have conducted the staff training and the applicant engagement through a pilot workshop and a community workshop. We've also established internal resources to assist staff and external resources for the applicants. This past weekend, the Amanda-related changes were deployed, and the production version of SJE plans was tested and was determined to be ready for use. Starting this past Monday through next Friday, we are continuing to support staff and applicants by conducting drop-in sessions where they can ask questions pertaining to the use of the SJE plan software. There are currently additional tasks we are completing this week. We have created applicant guides, and they'll be finalized and available on the SJE Plans Resources website. The resources website itself will also be finalized this week and will be available on the official go live on August 31st. That's it.
Thanks, Joe. I'm Alex Powell. I'm Chief of Staff for Planning, Building, Code Enforcement, and also the product owner for the Development Service Transformation team. So building on the great work that Mark, Ty, and Joe had presented on, I'll start discussing what we're targeting to accomplish in Q3 of 2020, and as indicated by our OKRs on this slide. So starting on the far left-hand side, our first objective of a simple self-serve digital user experience. We continue to renew our objective, our key result of launching the new online permitting portal, SJ Permits 2.0, in this quarter. And while we have experienced some setbacks in the past, we are now in a better place where we're identifying really our path to completion, our path to launching the portal, and expect to have the launch later in the early fall. And we expect to have a update and a presentation on the new portal at the next ad hoc committee in October. Our second key result in this builds on the work that Joe and Ty presented, and really builds on the SJE Plans portal. This new software is really more than just a technology that we're using, but really an impact to the way that we operate, but also importantly, our customers and external applicants. So as Joe presented, we are developing guides and resources for our customers, and we wanted to reflect that work and how important it is for our customers to adjust to the way that they're working through the creation of this OKR. Moving into the next objective of a clear, consistent, effective process, our key result here is a continuation of our objective to permit 60% of our ADUs within 2 review cycles. We'll discuss this key result more in the next agenda item. Finally, moving over to the next objective, a strong collaborative team. Our first key result was to update the annual fee and charges update for fiscal year 2021. This is part of the annual budget process where fees and charges are updated and approved by council and need to be reflected in our Amanda system, which helps calculate the fees and determine what the cost of the permits are that our applicants will be paying for. The objective for completion of this key result was to launch this by August 17th, and that timeline was met by our IT team and launched it a little over a week ago. Second key result is building on the SJE plans portal, the importance of training our internal users for using this new electronic plan review software so they understand how to use the markups and how to process the applications through a new e-plan submittal website and returning comments back to our applicants. And finally, our last key result for this objective is to report on the remote work and technology requirements during COVID-19. We have done a rapid transformation into a digital process, and now we want to reflect on what could potentially be any hindrances or anything that is blocking our team from being most effective in the development services work. So finally, our last objective is the great internal tools to enable teamwork. And of course, this builds on the work that the first key result builds on the work that Joe and Ty have just presented on, launching electronic plan review for 5 planning and 15 public works permits, which we are on the eve of launching publicly on August 31st. Our second key result, our second and third, are continuations of previous key results, and we go beyond what was our previous objective and expand into the next milestone. So the first one is signing off on Fire's electronic plan review requirement document. This is SJE plans, and also completing the configuration so they're ready to start their user acceptance testing. The next key result is for our building department, and building reflects a more complex process that has more review partners. Really, the building permit process includes all of our partners, and therefore has a much more dynamic review process. So while Fire will be able to complete the requirement document and complete configuration, building's key result will be to complete the requirement document and 50% of the configuration. And finally, the last item in this objective is to develop fire and code enforcement's digital inspection form and start end user testing. This builds on the great work that Mark Garcia presented for our building inspection unit, but expanding those benefits to the fire and code enforcement groups so that we can finally move all of our inspectors that are part of this process and use our servers for taking those paper forms and moving them into a digital electronic form process. So those are our proposed OKR for Q3. To wrap up this portion of the agenda, I'll turn it over to back to Rosalind.
Great, thank you so much, Alex. And so to complete this portion of our presentation, we just wanted to take the opportunity to provide
Did we lose Rosalind, or did I get lost?
I think we did.
Oh, okay.
All right, I will quickly present this portion of it. I know Rosalind's internet was going in and out. So what we wanted to reflect on was, well, how has the permit process really changed? And really, how has the days to permit issuance changed for some of our most popular, most common permit types? So we looked at 3 different permit types. First, home alterations and home additions and alterations. These are the typical permits you would expect for single family homes, kitchen remodels, or adding on a new bedroom or living room to a home. Second is tenant improvement. These are similar to the addition and alterations, but mostly focused on commercial, retail, and other forms of industrial commercial improvements. And then finally, new construction. Really anything that is a new building structure that can be anything from an ADU to a high-rise building in downtown. So what we find, starting on the far left, for our home addition and alterations. We showed the days to permit issuance, and this is an average starting from looking over the past 12 months in August 2019. And we see a relatively stable days to permit issuance in about the 3 to 4 week range. And then as COVID hit, we start to have a major increase of time it takes to actually issue the permits for the home addition and alterations. A major cause for this, we've been, the development service partners have been proud of our express appointments that we have for many of our customers. These are the typical ones that come into the permit center and that we oftentimes can actually approve really over the counter or during sort of a coordinated meeting with all partners in one place. Without that ability or that experience for everyone to meet in one place at one time, it was much more difficult for us to work with these customers and really the variety of contractors who are attempting to get these permits. Second, on the tenant improvement side, similarly, again, we have our special tenant improvement process, our STI program. And again, similarly, typically these customers are able to go into the permit center and again, set up a meeting so they can meet with all of the partners or all the reviewers that are necessary and get their permits quickly. Typically, these are issued again, sometimes in one day, oftentimes within a week, as you see traditionally. But without that in-person experience, we oftentimes have a difficult time replicating the experience of our STI program for our commercial customers. And then finally, for new construction, as we've been reported in the past by Rosalind to council, new construction has been, and really we've been focusing our attention on the high impact projects, which includes obviously a lot of what's happening within new construction. So we haven't seen as much of an impact as our plan reviewers have actually been able to focus their attention on the plan review to a lot of those plans that have been submitted and also the electronic plan review that we rapidly transitioned our teams to. So the timeline for new construction projects has actually remained relatively stable, as a lot of that interaction previously happened either through email or formal comments that were sent back and forth between the plan review team for the city of San Jose and the applicant team and the architects on their team. So I see Rosalind rejoined. Is there anything else that maybe I might have missed?
Alex, you did wonderful. Thank you so much for covering. Thank you.
So that
Welcome back, Rosalind.
Thank you. So this completes this section of the agenda, Chair, and we'll turn it over to you for questions and discussion.
Thank you so much, Rosalind, and to your entire team. I see that Councilmember Davis has her hand up, and you know it's really difficult because I'm actually watching the presentation through my smartphone. So I'm going to need some help from our city clerk so that she can tell me if there's anyone from the public that is requesting to speak on item 1. Tony, would you help me out here?
There currently is no public member with their hand raised.
Okay, great. Councilmember Davis?
Thank you. I wanted to ask about, we didn't talk specifically about it, but I wanted to ask about the electrical inspections. I had gotten a note from someone in the middle of the month that the electrical inspections had changed kind of in mid-August from a 1-week wait to a 4-week wait. What happened there?
Thank you, Councilmember. Yes, we are experiencing delays in getting electrical inspections for our customers. And I know that Chu Cheng and the team have been working on a plan to be able to get to many more of our electrical inspection permit customers. I'm sure Chu is on the line, or perhaps Mark Garcia also. There's Chu. Great, thank you.
Thank you. Yes, the council member, that is one of our pinch point at this point. After the COVID-19 start, before the COVID-19, we have 7 inspectors to cover electrical specialty. After the COVID, we lost about 3.5. One of these retired rehire. They are in a higher risk level. And one inspector actually have a family situation, so they cannot actually support. We are right now trying to focus on, because a lot of work can be done by combo inspection. That means we have an inspector trend combination to cover small homeowner type of project. But still, many of the major projects require electrical specialty. That's our delay. We have since then have at least 1.5 staff, so-called one retiree and one full-time employee electrical return. So the situation will be a little better, but we're still pretty much 3 weeks behind. We're doing everything we can to support and prioritize the need for all the projects.
So we have 5.5 as opposed to 7 now? Is that right? Okay. And is there any prospect for getting to 7? Getting back to 7?
Yep, that's our goal. I think it depends how our, I guess, at this point, we are continuing our recruitment. Actually, we got the exemption from the city. The recruitment is ongoing. Electrical inspector is our focus. Our estimate usually that will take at least a month or month and a half to have any new inspector on board, and plus the training. So we're talking about at least 2 months away to increase the capacity.
Okay. And it sounded like we were doing okay until about August. Is that right? So we were down, but it sounded like maybe the demand for electrical inspections was also down.
Yes.
And then the weight just kind of ballooned all at once.
That's correct. Yeah. I think it's since it's July we start seeing that already, because during the May, early April, there's no construction going on. We don't get any call for the inspection at that time. So once all the construction activity resume, then a lot of projects start calling inspection. We're pretty good actually. On the other side is the all other part of the inspection, plumbing, mechanical, or the building type of inspection. We right now is probably within 48 hours that time frame we can provide inspection. Just the electrical part, we are short of staff.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for talking to me about that.
Thank you.
I had a couple of questions about the Q1 OKRs, and I know I've asked this before, but it's been so long that I don't remember. When we have something in, say, Q1 where it wasn't 100% met, like say internal finalized technology fee study recommendations, that one didn't get brought forward to Q2, at least not that I saw. Why do some things fall off and not get brought forward into the next OKRs?
Thank you, Councilmember. Great question. So as we find ourselves reprioritizing the work, we're making decisions on what we really need to move on immediately and what things can wait. So for example, regarding the technology fee, the work has actually been completed. We had to bring on a consultant to provide us with the work we needed to provide the nexus for the fee. However, given the current climate, we thought it was not really the right timing to move forward proposing another fee for our development community. It's work or an effort that we can certainly still consider, but given the necessity to prioritize the work, we thought that we would put a pause on the technology fee, regroup, and decide when it would be best to move that proposal forward.
Okay, thank you. And I just want to say that I'm really excited about the digital inspection form, and it looks like it's saving tons of time, it's saving money. It will be a lot easier for people to review, to see what their form means, especially for those of us who, we go through one or two remodels in our lifetimes and don't necessarily know what everything stands for. So I really appreciate all the work that you guys have been doing to digitize and make our processes more efficient. especially for our homeowners. I did want to, I guess the last thing, when you talked about the permit issuance, the last slide on permit issuance timelines, is there a plan for, it looked like the time had bumped up quite a bit and it was stabilizing for the home additions, and it was not the new construction, but the whatever the middle, the two left boxes were. Is there a plan for kind of trying to replicate that in-person experience on Zoom, or do we have to wait until everything is electronically submitted to be able to kind of replicate that in the best way? I don't know, Alex, if you wanted to, or Rosalind.
Yeah, I'm happy to start, and Rosen, please chime in. But yeah, the Permit Center continues to identify ways to improve the permitting process. Of course, with a lot of things, we'll talk about this a bit in the next section with ADUs. You know, the more successful our customers are, the more familiar they are with our process, the more successful we're going to be. And we found that, again, with a totally new process of no Permit Center, it's actually a major shift for them. So a lot of our work has been on how do we find ways to make this new digital process for them, electronic signatures, paying online, all these different steps. How do we make that a little bit easier for them? To specifically to your question, how do we replicate maybe what is that in-person experience? And the team is actively working on trying to set up online appointment scheduling so our customers can start picking off time of, hey, this is when I would like to submit, and have that opportunity to talk with somebody right now using a different video platform that's more integrated using Microsoft Teams. So they can meet with somebody in the Permit Center and talk about their application for more of that immediate back and forth comments. So we actually hope for that to actually be live in the next couple months, hopefully by the end of October.
Okay, great. Thank you. That's all my questions.
Thank you. Councilmember Foley?
Thank you, Chair. This is really exciting that so much of this is going online and saving our staff really 400 to 500 hours in printing. That's incredible that we can save that kind of manpower in printing. I know, just a side note, pre-COVID, I would have my staff print out the binders of our council meetings and even this meeting and all the attachments and everything. And once I moved into my home office, I started doing that myself, and I thought, this is ridiculous. What a waste of materials, a waste of my time, a waste of my effort. So I wouldn't say I'm completely electronic. I have my paper here that I use on a regular basis, but it certainly has saved my time and my effort, and 400 hours is huge in manpower, but it's also in printers and paper and everything else that costs us. So that's a huge savings, and thank you for putting that into place. That's really impressive. Rosalind, I want to thank you and your team for this presentation. It's really exciting to see that even though we're in COVID, and COVID is not it's a pandemic that is creating economic and health considerations, serious considerations across the world and in our area. But this has created an innovation in our technology that is making it more efficient for us to be effective as we help people do the small projects they need and the large project they need. So, and Rosalind, I also appreciate the reports that you bring to council every month or so on development. So I don't have a lot of questions, but I do really appreciate Mark Tagg's, the digitized 350. I think that's wonderful. I hope, I know that it was mentioned that is more, or Tai Chow said it was more for large projects. Now I'm getting confused. We have digitized 350 and we have SJE plan, correct? SJE plan is for large plans. Is that right? Confusing myself a little bit here.
So SJE plans, in theory, as we continue to expand this tool, could be used for any application that is necessary for plan review. So again, something simple that goes through SJ permits, a small water heater replacement. Again, you get that permit online, easy today, available. What Mark is presenting on was more of the inspection side of things after you have a permit for construction.
Right.
E-plans, again, anything that requires plan review by our staff.
Right. I'm sorry, I got those, I have all my notes mixed up and I got all confused. The inspections, to be able to do those electronic and take away the legibility or concern is a huge deal changer, I imagine, because when you do an inspection and my handwriting is pretty bad, an inspector thinks they know what they're saying. Of course they know what they're saying, but when they translate it to the homeowner or to staff, it's hard for you to read. So electronically, that makes it so much better and so much easier. I think that's wonderful. I don't have any other questions other than to say, Rosalind, you mentioned the CEQA instructional guide and the environmental roundtable delay. What is the status on getting the instructional guide completed? Has the roundtable met and offered feedback, and when do you expect the guide will be available? Or Alex?
Rosalind, you might have muted yourself. But otherwise, I can definitely speak to this. So again, as Rosalind mentioned, that particular OKR was yellow. I believe we were scheduled the environmental roundtable to meet the last week of March. Obviously, that in-person meeting was canceled, postponed. I believe it was a month and a half. I can find the exact date, but then we just reused that same agenda item, which was the guide for that team, and we got the comments. So that has actually already been completed. It wasn't necessarily rolled over in other OKRs. As we were developing our new OKRs, we weren't certain exactly when that group would reconvene. So, but that work has been completed, and today would be a green OKR.
Okay, very good. Thank you. That concludes my questions, and good work on how you're handling all the permits and making them electronic and easier for our customers. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I still don't see anyone else interested in speaking unless I'm missing something. Tony, I'm going to just check in with you one more time.
There are no members of the public with their hands raised.
Okay, thank you. And this is an information only. Rosalind or Tony, if you could just inform.
Correct. It's a verbal update.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'm going to pass the baton on to my council colleague, the vice chair, council member Deb Davis. I have to jump off for just a second to address a group that's just outside of my car door. And that's why I've had a few minor technical difficulties. I'll be back in just a minute. But thank you, council member Davis, for taking over.
No problem. So I think we're ready to move on to item 2, the ADU process enhancement update. Is that right?
Yes, council member,
hands go up.
That is correct. I just want to check in with the city clerk to see if we're required to take a vote on the first item. If not, we can certainly move on.
You don't have to, you can do a receive and file vote if you want to, but you don't have to, and it's just a verbal update. Or it's not verbal update if it's just an update.
Okay, great. We'll move on to the next item on the agenda, which is our update on our ADU program. And I believe Alex is going to kick us off.
We'll actually have our first slide being presented by our ADU ally, Sarah Scholl. So Sarah, go ahead.
Good morning, council members and panelists and attendees. My name is Sarah Scholl. I'm the ADU ally for the city of San Jose. I will talk to you today about ADU permitting and applications about a year ago and until now. So at the beginning, you see we have 63 permit applications in July 2019. We did have a program launch and new information on our web pages. So we see a little bit of a dip there as some customers adjust to the new information. You see that there is a peak of 100 submittal applications right at the end of the year. That is a rush of applicants to come in before the new code cycle every 3 years. there is a new code with new requirements. So they wanted to get their project in right before all of the changes. So you see a little bit of a dip with customers and us adjusting to the new information. You see the dip at 41. That is our beginning of the COVID and shelter in place. So we had a little bit of a dip there. We're adjusting, customers are adjusting to the challenges that we're all facing. But then you see it gets right back up into the standard numbers that we were seeing in the previous year. So I think all things considered, we're doing a really great job, and also our customers are doing a really good job alongside of us, learning that new information, submitting the projects in a timely manner, and getting it to us. So that's my update on this right now, and I'll pass it back over to Alex.
Thanks, Sarah. As part of our normal process for reporting, we do report on how permits have been issued. So while Sarah is talking about applications intake and showing that sort of how it's been relatively stable, demand for ADUs during COVID-19 and shelter in place has remained relatively stable, I'll be talking about actually the permits that have been issued. So similar to the earlier slide that we discussed as part of the development service transformation agenda item, the permits that have been issued really since 2016, and if we look at it in this year, have had a significant impact. Our last update to you in January of this year reported on an incredibly robust 2019, where each quarter we were finding triple-digit permits that were being issued, and the team continued to find ways to improve the way that they were working. We continued that pace and that improvement into 2020, where in Q1 we permitted 128 ADUs, our biggest quarter of all time, which is impressive considering that the permit center was closed for about 2.5 weeks at the end of March, at the end of the first quarter. So the shelter in place, and again, the way that we've had to transform, and our applicants have had to transform, has really made an impact in Q2, really reflecting the last several weeks of shelter in place. So right, you see in green, we were only able to permit 39 ADUs during that time, which again, is caused by a lot of the change that our applicants need to adjust to. Sarah will talk to this more in a minute, but we've seen most of our ADU permitting improvement based on when our customers are successful and they are able to submit successfully to us. And again, during shelter in place and the inability of being in the office, or the inability to sign a document, or learning how to use electronic signatures, has made an impact in the permitting process. So while 39 is not where we want to be for a quarter for ADU permit issuance, we are seeing that in Q3, that pace is picking up, and we're starting to permit closer to 10 ADUs a week, which reflect more of what we were seeing when we had ADU Tuesdays in the office, and when customers are able to come in and get permits much more quickly. So we expect that in Q3 of this year, when we report back, we'll be much closer to about 100 ADUs that were permitted, building on sort of the lessons that we have been learning about how to run a digital or virtual permit center. So I'll give it back to Sarah to talk about our OKR, which was 60 permitting, targeting to permit 60% of our ADUs within 2 review cycles.
Thank you, Alex. So you'll see at the beginning of Q1 in 2019, we started out at 28% of applications getting through within 2 plan review cycles. So then we see a program launch of the ADU program. ADU Ally hit the scene, which is me. We updated the information on our website. We had a few additional handouts. So I think we can attribute that outreach and customer eyes on the ADU program to that additional 40%. So we see that increase pretty much immediately. And then we carry on with that trend the rest of the year to start seeing 53%. After the new code cycle, like we discussed in the previous slide with that 100 applications, we see a bit of a dip as customers and we are also adjusting to new information for the code cycle and city regulations. But we only see a 5% decrease in the projects getting through in 2 cycles. So I see this as pretty much still a success, with all things considered, what we're up against, what our customers are up against. And it's not only the COVID-19 shelter in place. Uh, Up until August of 2020, with the new code cycle regulations that comes along with the new Title 24 energy compliance, all of our customers need to use a computer software program that was a bit challenging. So that's also what we attribute to seeing that 5% dip. But now we're seeing that increase a little bit, and we have like I said before, in August, the Title 24 software got a new update. We're going to start seeing those challenges being alleviated. So I think even though we've seen some really good progress last year and a small little dip this year, I still think we're on a really good track for improvement. We'll continue our outreach. So I think we're doing a really great job, as well as our customers. So thank you.
That concludes staff presentation on ADU process improvements.
Okay, if any members of the public would like to speak, please raise your hand. Don't see any right now. So I'm gonna go to Councilmember Foley.
Just a quick question. Sarah, I know you're working really hard to handle all the ADU questions. We get calls all the time about how efficient you are, but also how backlogged you are a little bit. What's the status of your ADU ally helper or ADU ally number 2?
Alex, would you like to speak to that?
Certainly, and of course, Rosalind I believe Mason's on the line. So as part of, as we're thinking about sort of the demand for ADUs, even over the past really 9 months, even, the last half of the last fiscal year, we saw we started to think about what's the best way to actually assemble a team, really beyond maybe even a second ADU ally, to really a team that really helps from beginning to end get an ADU through the permitting process. And that includes really resources across all the trades: inspections, building plan review, public works, fire. And our original aspiration was really to assemble that team. But obviously, given the impact of COVID-19, that budget proposal, or that idea of how to get greatly scaled down to maintaining the existing ADU ally to help customers at that early part. And again, this builds on really what we think is really the most impactful strategy. Sarah helps customers being successful with their first submission. If we are successful at that point in time, really the rest of the process is going to go much easier. So while it's a much limited team, Sarah's really at that critical junction that really can make the biggest impact.
There's no question about that. So because of budget constraints, you're rethinking about how to handle the efficiencies of the ADU process and making sure that the applicant is hopefully getting it through the first time around, and Sarah's there to answer a lot of questions. But I am concerned about her being overworked, as we are victims of the success of the ADU program, and which is great. It's the low-hanging fruit of affordable housing in San Jose. So I'd love to see that we are doing so well with ADUs, but I worry about concerns in response time that will result in just a matter of man hours being able to answer all the questions. So I understand you're working to make that as efficient and effective as possible, and you have to manage your resources within your budget allowed, as we all are. So we're all doing the best we can to work longer hours, harder hours, more efficiently in the budget cycles that we have. So thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Foley. I have a couple of questions about the review cycle statistics. Are there specific types of ADUs that need more than 2 review cycles? Have you kind of gone down into the data to see, okay, for the 47% that aren't making it, do these all look similar? And do the 53% that are making it, do they look similar, either in, the contacts that they had with the city before they submitted? I don't know if you track that, or if it's a specific type, it's not a garage conversion, or it is a garage conversion. Do you have statistics on those that can maybe shed some more light on why basically half are making it through into, or half aren't and half are not?
Great question, and we've asked a similar one. So right now we don't currently have that data, but we have been asking that question actually in the past month. And what we're actually doing is reconfiguring the report that we currently use for this. So right now the data that we look at really breaks it down by division and all the review cycles. And getting into the weeds a little bit, we sort of take, if any group, if any division misses a 2 review cycle, then that's going to push it into not being within 2 review cycles for the entire team, and we report on that sort of higher standard. What we're asking for in the report that we're expecting in the next couple of weeks, we'll actually break it out by project, and we'll be able to pull in project specific information. So why right now we are tracking, what percentage of garage conversions do we have, or excuse me, tiny houses on wheels and junior ADUs, and trying to find those different project types. We don't necessarily have that associated to the 2 review cycles as it's a separate database, but we can report on that in the next ad hoc meeting.
Yeah, I think that would be really helpful, because that would also be something, to Councilmember Foley's point with Sarah being our one ADU ally. If we know that a certain type of ADU gets through faster, we can tell people that, and we can say, hey, if you really want to get this done quickly, and of course quickly means more cheaply, this is the way to go. Do the ones on wheels, or do the junior ADU, or whatever it is. If you want to do an ADU and you kind of have some flexibility, we can maybe help guide people into those different types. That kind of goes along with, when we're looking at, and it sounds like you're going to be getting this data next time too, just what are the main sticking points for people, and are these things that we could improve on the information side on the website? So I completely agree. The ADU website now has so much more information than it did before. It is also still confusing. My office gets calls where, somebody has a corner lot and they're not sure what the setbacks mean for them. And what it means if you have an attached garage versus a detached garage. Those are just 2 off the top of my head that have come up. And so those are kinds of, if we, I don't know if there's an FAQ, or if we need to have an FAQ, or if it's just, here's the type of ADU, because there are a few different types. I mean, you were just talking about them, Alex, the junior ADU, the ADU on wheels, the garage conversion, the detached garage. I mean, those are just 4 just off the top of my head. And I'm sure there's others, right? Just a backyard unit that you construct from a pad. So if we had, okay, I'm thinking of doing this kind, do we have guidelines specific for that we could give people? Or parcel type, size, whether it's a corner lot or not a corner lot. Is there some kind of decision tree that we could help guide people through on the website that would help? Again, that takes the load off of Sarah and the rest of the staff, and it also hopefully decreases the number of review cycles, because someone doesn't just put something in that they think is going to go okay, and that's like 1 review cycle right there is 20 different comments, because it's completely wrong for whatever reason.
It's a great question.
Thank you, Councilmember. No, I was just going to say, we can agree with you more about the importance of getting good information to our customers' hands before they actually submit. So we'll continue to update our website and get accurate information into our customers' hands. I do want to note that we have been doing lots of promotional work. Late last year, earlier this year, Sarah actually participated in several webinars hosted by our partners, like the Housing Trust, and that's a really good way to get to customers who are seriously interested in submitting an ADU application and getting good information into their hands. So we'll continue to pursue those opportunities, and definitely I think it's a great idea, because we do have several types of backyard units. And so to the extent that we can detail that information and get into our customers' hands will definitely be helpful. And will definitely take some of the pressure off of Sarah as well.
Great, thank you. My final question is about the pre-approved plans. How many do we have now?
We have 5 pre-approved non-site specific ADU plans that customers can access the webpage to look and see what the sizes are, and then they can access those vendor web pages as well. I believe we have 2 going through plan review right now that are site specific, so using the pre-approved ADU plans that we have.
Okay, cool, thank you.
Mhm.
Be very interested to see how those go, and hopefully they go with, just one review cycle and you're done.
Councilmember Davis, I just wanted to add something. Sarah was kind enough to participate in a panel that I held earlier this year during Affordable Housing Week, turned out to be month in April, one of our first virtual meetings, and it was very well received, the information she had, all on ADUs, and she was our ADU ally expert. So thank you, Sarah, for participating.
That's a great idea. Sarah, I might have to ask you to do that for me.
Let's get all the districts together.
I think it's a great idea. We should do that. Very cool. All right. Does anyone have anything else? I think we might be the only council member Foley.
I think we are.
Okay. Well, we will move on to item 3 then, the housing production indicators update.
Great. We have staff from D in the health department who will be presenting these slides. I believe Jerson and Rachel is also on the line. Rachel Vanderveen.
Yes, thank you, Rosalind. So good morning, committee members. And so I am Rachel Vanderveen, Deputy Director of the Housing Department, and I'm joined today by Jared Ferguson, who is our Housing Catalyst Manager over in the Office of Economic Development. And the two of us will be providing the update for you today on the housing production numbers. Next slide, please. So this is the slide that we have brought to you as we've gone over time, and just trying to show some trends and progress in these different categories towards the goal that we have as a city, as a mayor and city council, to produce 10,000 units over a 5-year period. And so what this chart does is it shows the capacity that's been added through changes in the general plan. We have the next column shows planning approvals, which is going to be any units that have been entitled. The next column is building permits issued, and then units receiving occupancy. And what we wanted to highlight in the most recent, I guess it's not quarter, I don't know, time period, is that you can actually see some upticks in the numbers. If you look at building permits and you look at the specifically the affordable line, the number has grown in both the actually in the planning approvals, the building permits, and then also the occupancy. And so I just wanted to highlight that today. And what this really represents is an investment of Measure A. A lot of what you're seeing actually with the building permits and the occupancy is when the county passed Measure A, there were more funds available for affordable housing, and we are now seeing some of those doors open. So that's really exciting. We had Park Avenue and Renaissance Place both opening their doors, which are providing permanent supportive housing to our community, and we're funded through that process. And what you're also seeing in the building permits is, again, Measure A projects, including Virginia Street Apartments and Quetzal Gardens, which are now under construction, which is really exciting because those are projects that have been in the works and trying to piece together their financing for a long time. And in the entitled category, what we actually see is some of the city funding as well as Measure A, that's really helping because we released in 2018 a $100 million NOFA, and now we're actually seeing some of those projects move forward as well. So yeah, those are our highlights for this report. Next slide.
So this next slide represents residential building permit progress for that includes 2018, 2019. We chose to highlight this. I think it's kind of the best metric to kind of view what the current market conditions are. So you have 2018 and 2019, I think, kind of tracking relatively speaking to what our historic average has been year over year, somewhere around 2,500 permits. And then looking at 2020, Q1 and Q2, obviously Q1, I think several things working against us in terms of the high construction cost that we knew of. And then going into Q2, starting in March, the impacts of COVID have really caused a lot of uncertainty in the market. And so the line section represents kind of an illustrative estimate of, kind of where we would be at if Q1 and Q2 were to mirror, or Q3 and Q4 were to mirror Q1 and Q2. So I think this is something we're going to keep taking a look at and keeping an eye on. Next slide.
So we also wanted to highlight basically some of the changes that have been happening at the state level by legislation, but now have actually impacted and changed the way that our permit and entitlement process works for affordable housing developments. And so both SB 35 and AB 2162 provide requirements. If an affordable housing development fits within the requirements, they can actually move forward with a more expedited, streamlined entitlement process. And we are very excited today to report that over 400 affordable housing units have actually been approved using these processes, which again, we just have to really recognize all the work of the planning team to, first of all, figure out how to do all this. It's just different, but we really kind of blazed the way with our first two projects, which were Alum Rock and West San Carlos. Those were the first two that were approved under the special process. But now, following in their footsteps, we have the Kelsey, Gallup Mesa, and Fourth and Younger. And what's been really great to see is that affordable housing developments have been able to move much more quickly through the entitlement process, which actually helps them get in front of the line or just standing in line sooner for financing opportunities. And so, as we know, it's really key that all these projects are successful in either securing tax credits or tax exempt bonds. And so what's been able to happen is that these projects have been able to get into those application rounds in a timely basis. So we wanted to highlight that and just recognize a large effort across many departments in order to make this happen. Next slide.
Then the last slide, just kind of highlighting some of the market rate entitlements from Q1 and Q2. Winchester Ranch was approved in January, had 688 units, which included the replacement flats for the current mobile home park residents. And then more recently in June, 259 Meridian was approved. 226 units right now with 34 affordable that they're planning to include, at least right now. And so with that concludes our presentation. Available for any questions.
Thank you. Are there any members of the public who would like to speak? If so, please raise your blue hand. If not, Councilmember Foley, do you have any questions?
Not real. Well, just a comment that in District 9, we have an affordable housing project coming through by Affirmed is the developer on affordable housing and supportive housing, that they are utilizing AB 2162 as well. And they're moving through the process. I think it's 90 units or slightly less, because they did remove a story to accommodate some of the concerns of the neighbors. But the utilizing those two pieces of legislation will help get affordable housing built in our community, but it doesn't remove the need for us to have substantive community outreach with our neighbors, so they understand the impact of what's happening. But we absolutely need affordable housing, and if that's the way that it's getting done, then so be it. But thank you.
Thank you. I had one question. If we could put the housing production slide back up on I think it was the second slide. Yeah, that one. The units receiving occupancy for this year, Rachel, did that for the affordable, does that include the senior apartments on Park and Laurel, or is that?
So yeah, I have the breakdown here. So what it includes is the Park Avenue, the senior development on Park Avenue, and then also Renaissance Place, which is 160 units in District 7.
Okay, so it's just two.
Yes, it's those two developments. Yeah. That's the ones that were completed from January to June 2020, because we did have some completions in, I guess I sometimes think about fiscal years too, right? So even when we talked about this with the budget, we were talking about a whole fiscal year. So it was a different set of completion. So anyway, you're going to see Villas on the Park and 2nd Street Studios being completed in 2019.
Okay, got it. Thank you. And then it looked like these numbers for the units receiving building permits, the market rate numbers were not as high as the Q1, Q2 numbers that the building permit progress that Jared talked about on his last slide. So maybe I'm not doing the math right. You had given us 2 projects. Were those more recent, Jared? Is that why they're not in? Were they
those got their planning approval, so those got entitlement, so they haven't received.
Oh, so they're in
the first bucket there.
Got it. Okay, thank you. So they didn't get their permits, they just got planning approval. Okay, thanks. I was looking at the wrong column. Great.
I just wanted to add another item. I know that we've mentioned this before too, and one thing that we were looking at carefully as we were doing these numbers is actually trying to figure out how we should treat our tiny homes, our emergency, because we really have 2 different things happening right now. So we have 2 bridge housing sites moving forward, and those have 40 units on each, and then we also have 3 emergency interim housing sites, which actually are accumulating to now 200 units between those 3. And so we did discuss internally, how are we going to show this? Because, I think that even with our experience that we've had with ADUs, what we've found is that sometimes, what seems like a small effort can actually start like boosting up some of our production. So as we prepare for the next time we look at these numbers, we are also going to be taking a look at if we should just include our tiny homes in these numbers as well. They're not in here right now, but like I said, to date, we have 40 units that have been completed, but we have an additional 240 more that are under construction right now. So I just wanted to mention that because it is something that we were thinking about, and we wanted to even get some feedback from you on, should we just go ahead and roll them in and then just explain that, or do you have an opinion about that?
Yeah, I would say I would add them in as a third line and call it interim because they're not
That's true.
permanent.
Mhm.
Because we have the desire to move people from the interim into affordable
Right.
over time. And so I would say I would add a third line of interim. Does that sound right to you, Councilmember Foley? It looks like
Absolutely. I was just going to raise my hand to say the same thing. Don't
Okay.
include it in the affordable numbers. Add a separate line for interim housing. That way we'll know.
Yeah,
that
and
it's-
I
because
think
those
that's
are
a great
important
idea.
productions. Yeah, those are important
Mhm.
productions too, but we don't want to lump them into permanent housing,
Mhm.
which is the affordable. So I agree with Councilmember Davis.
Okay, I really appreciate that feedback because we were all just kind of noodling on that as we were preparing this report. And I feel like, again, when you have over 240 some units that are all coming on the way, I would like to be able to reflect that. So
for sure. That brought up two more questions. And I know we've talked about this before, but again, we haven't met. And so my brain is a little fuzzy on it. Can we add the numbers on the bottom to get to how many housing units we have in the pipeline? If we add not the 17,000, but the 6,000, the 6,000 and the 2,500, do we add those, or are there some that were in 2018 developed, got their planning approvals, and then in 2019 they got their building permit, and then in 2020 they maybe got their occupancy? Like, is there double counting in these?
In this chart, there is, so it's just historical and cumulative. So yeah, you can't total. We are trying to work towards getting that accurate count towards the 25,000 without double counting. I'm hopeful that we'll have it at the next ad hoc. We've kind of been working on some data scripting to get it out of Amanda properly and counted. So hopefully we have that. We're hoping to have that soon. So
okay, that's really helpful. Then that makes sense. And then as Rachel was talking about the bridge housing, it did come up for me. Do we have the ADU numbers in here? Would they be in the building permits and the occupancy? They don't get planning approval, but
yeah, they're included in the last two columns. Yeah.
okay, so they are included in there.
yeah.
And are they included in the market rate or the affordable? How do we decide where they go?
They're included in the market rate. The affordable is just for those deed restricted projects.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Thank you. That's really helpful. So I think that is the end of our agenda. We have open forum. If there are any members of the public who would like to comment on items that weren't on the agenda. I don't see any blue hands coming up. Okay, so do we have when our next meeting is? Sorry, I don't have it on here.
October 22nd.
Thank you. All right, October 22nd, we will meet again. We're adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.